I'm one of those women who is 99% sure that they do not want kids. This is something that I have been open about for as long as I can remember. I'm almost 31, but I thought that this would be something interesting to talk about because most of the time when people hear that I don't want kids, they think it's because, I want freedom and I want to be able to go travel whenever I want to. I don't want to deal with the sleepless nights and all of just the stress that comes with having a child, and that really is part of it, but I think it goes deeper than that. So to backtrack a little bit, the other day I was talking to a friend, and most of my friends, when they get to that point where they're ready to start having kids, I can feel that they feel very tense about telling me that because they know that I'm that person that really doesn't like kids, doesn't want kids. And of course, I'm always going to be happy for my friends if that's something that they genuinely want. But I asked this friend that came to me and told me that her and her husband are getting to the point where they're ready to start trying to have kids. I said, what is that feeling like to know that you're ready for that? Like, what kind of gets you to that place that you are now? And she was telling me that when she saw other people announce that they were pregnant, she felt this longing inside of her to experience that. And she started, seeing other families out and about with kids and started thinking like, that's really something that I want. It's just this like internal feeling, this internal urge. And I was telling her that I have literally never felt that in my life. I've never had that feeling or that natural urge or that desire to be pregnant or to have a baby. When I see babies, there's nothing that draws me to them. It's not that I'm repulsed by babies. I don't care for them. It's honestly kind of like how some people have that urge to run a marathon, even if they're not in shape, if they've never been a runner in their life, because they feel like that is something that they just have to check off their list. They just have to do it to feel like they've lived. Whereas I feel the same way about babies and marathons. I don't need either of those to make my life feel complete.
Listen, I have 3 kids of my own. First one was an accident. Second one was an accident. Third one was an accident. I love my children. I can't explain it, how I would literally die for them in a heartbeat. I didn't think I would ever love something so much. And I didn't even think I wanted to be a mom. And literally, I cannot imagine my life without them. But if you don't have kids, don't do it. Don't do it. I just got a notification on my phone that my bank account was overdrafted. So that's why.
I absolutely chose not to have kids, and here's why. I have 7 brothers and sisters. We're all a year and a half, like 2 years apart. And my mom had to raise us on her own, and I am one of the oldest daughters, middle child. So you can understand, I've been raising kids since I was like 8 years old. So I didn't have the luxury of fantasizing about having a kid and someone to love me unconditionally, because all I knew about kids was how hard they were and how emotionally and physically draining it was when you didn't have a partner to help you. And I also learned explicitly at a very young age that men can use the institution of marriage and your own kids as a catalyst for your downfall. But that didn't stop me from wanting it, it just made me hyper aware. When I was in my 20s and I got out into the world and I thought I was an adult and I had this boyfriend and all this stuff, he turned out to be baby number 2. He went from crying to his mom to crying to me. And I was just like, no, I'm a 24-year-old girl. I can't be mother to the world. I just started a great new career. I don't know shit. I have stuff I want to do. I can't be responsible for everything and everybody. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I took a hard stance and I was like, this is my life. This is the time that I have to make mistakes and do stupid shit and almost die and then survive and then learn the lessons I need to learn as a woman and just me. What lessons do I need to learn in life for me? And it was always so funny to me how men that I would just meet, or just like I've known you for 2 months or whatever, and you try to lure me in by saying like, we should have a baby, or, I would be a great dad. I'd be like, you dumb you just said the magic word. Now I gotta block you. Because when I do have kids, I want it to be a conscious choice that I made at a time where I want to be devoted to motherhood. And although my childhood still was fun, I definitely want a different family structure and marital dynamic than what I grew up in. I just want to provide my kids with someplace safe.
So I've known my whole life that I didn't want kids. And from the time I turned 18 until I eventually was able to get my tubes tied, I kept trying to find a doctor to do it. I even had OB-GYNs that refused to give me birth control, the long-term, like the Armin planner and IUD, because they said that my boyfriend might want kids and they didn't want to put him through that. The first doctor that I found, she said she would only do it if I lost 20 pounds. The next doctor said that the first doctor probably did that as just a deterrent because she knows what a difficult time women have losing weight. After surgery, when I was eventually able to get my tubes tied, the pharmacist, as I'm picking up my meds, tell me that I'll never get married because men want kids and I've ruined my chances of ever being someone's wife. Women are not just here to have babies. Stop telling them that.
I was watching this woman's video and she was saying that she's a woman over 30, and one question that she often gets asked by men is whether or not she has children and whether or not she wants any. And she always feels judged by those men when she says she doesn't have kids and doesn't want them in the future. They try to make her feel guilty or ashamed because she doesn't have that yearning, that desire to be a mom. She has no issue with children or anything. It's just the fact that she's already helped raise so many children and she realizes how much work that being a mom actually entails. What I think is interesting about this is some of the main men who are always trying to devalue or discredit women that don't want children, that want to be child-free, not childless, child-free as a choice. Those men aren't the kind of men that want to be active fathers. They want to take credit for the child's successes. They want to post a child on their social media, but they don't want to be involved in the day-to-day job of raising a child. Like, so often some of those same men sound exactly like this.
And you consider yourself a pretty involved parent?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about your son.
Right.
And just answer them to the best of your ability.
I will
okay?
do. No problem.
Very good.
Yeah.
What is your son's birthday?
No, that's a good one. That's a really good one because I don't know.
You really don't know his
No,
birthday?
I don't know his birthday.
What grade is your daughter going into?
9th grade.
What's the name of your daughter's school?
Ash Creek Elementary School.
No.
River Creek.
No.
Something Creek.
No.
What color are your daughter's eyes?
Brown.
All right, let's look. That is incorrect.
They're blue. I have a brown-eyed daughter, though.
Some of these men know nothing about their own children, where they go to school, their birthday, nothing. They don't know if the child has a peanut allergy, nothing at all. But yet they're shaming women because they don't want to have kids, because they can already tell before they even have kids, a lot of the responsibility is going to fall on them. You can't shame women for not wanting to be a married single mom. And a lot of them, that's what they want from you. They want to have a child with you to slow you down, have a child with you to bond you to them. They want to have a child with a woman for so many reasons, but it's not always that they want to be a father. They don't want anything to do with the child and the day-to-day life of that child. They just want to be able to say that they're a dad.
I don't have kids, and it was the greatest decision I ever made. And I almost feel like I can't brag about the fact that I don't have them or even talk about how great my life is without children. But do me a favor if you're on the fence. Go ask your friends with kids to describe their perfect day. Like, if they had a day, what would they do? Guaranteed it doesn't include their kids. Like 100%, it's like go to a hotel, watch Netflix, get room service, do whatever I want. That's my everyday life. Like, you describing your perfect day is my everyday. Just, you don't have to have kids to be happy.